You must know that first. Can't nothing and nobody fade what we trying to do and what we about to do. Second thing is, we got this game on our level. You understand what I'm saying?
Welcome to another episode of In Space with Chris Connor. I am your host. This show is always brought to you by the good people at DraftKings Sportsbook, Birdsall Law Firm, as well as New York Life. We'll get a word from them later on as we end the show. But it's kind of impromptu, but that's how the NBA works. You know, the biggest, I guess, drama series that you could find, man. I mean, anytime you think you're about to focus on basketball, because I should be talking about OG Anunoby again, or Gary Trent Jr., or upgrades, Brandon Ingram's game, breaking the 10-game losing streak, the Lakers, something. Nah, they said nah. That's not how I go. But yeah, man. The Pelicans have lost 10 straight. I could tell you about the pain. I could tell you about the struggle through the rain. Yeah. But that's not why we're here. It's not why we're here. And I'm sure by the time the show is out, everybody will have heard Kyrie Irving requested a trade from the Brooklyn Nets by the deadline of February 9th. And apparently it's centered around them not being able to come into contract extension agreement. Brooklyn, I think, reportedly wanted him to agree to a contract that had a bunch of stipulations that Kyrie just wasn't able or wasn't willing at this time to say yes to. So here we are. Now, when the tweet was actually dropped, when the news dropped, I mentioned, or I'd said on Twitter, a call will be made. Talking about the Pelicans, the call will be made. Do with that as you wish. Something along those lines. That's what I said. And then people responded, why would the Pelicans trade for Kyrie Irving? And that was the first comments I was getting.
If you think I'm here to play around with y'all, God damn it, I'm not. All right.
Nah, we're not talking about Kyrie Irving. I mean, look, I respect the brother, and I think he's a Hall of Fame basketball player. And somebody's going to be very happy with his services. The Lakers and the Mavericks have been, as they were in the offseason, attached to, as teams that will be trying to figure out a deal to acquire him. But he's not who we talking about. Y'all know what this is about. It's in the graphic. It's Kevin Durant. We talked about Kevin Durant in the offseason a lot. And what you would trade, what you wouldn't trade. And if the reports were true, which I do believe from the public ones that surfaced and some on the side, the Pelicans chose simply not to trade Brandon Ingram. And I don't blame them for making that decision after the year that was and some of the things you had to figure out with Zion. But now we're here. And you have a bunch of different discussions a month later about heading into the trade deadline. You have more questions about this Pelicans team than answers or than comfort that you thought you would have. Injuries, bad play, coaching, whatever you want to point at is the reason why the Pelicans are here. A game under 500 after a short month or some change ago being first in the West. So, and look, it's funny because Kevin Durant hasn't said a word yet. Maybe by the time this drops, he will have said something, but he hasn't said anything. I can't guarantee you that he's going to say that he wants out next. Woj tweeted that among rival teams, there was far more interest in inquiring on Kevin Durant's reaction to Kyrie Irving's trade request and how that may impact KD's future with the Nets. He understands where I'm going with this, but forget that. Forget even that. Kevin Durant could say, I don't want to be in New Orleans. That's just not, I only want to be here. Maybe it's Phoenix. He could say, I don't want to be traded. He could say, I want to retire as a Brooklyn Net. I don't care. The Pelicans should be on the phone with the Brooklyn Nets, regardless. I don't care what the other situation. I don't care if he goes radio silent. Pelicans should be on the phone. There's a bunch of reasons as to why, but Look, man, they did the right thing in the offseason. They did the PR friendly thing. They did the community, the family thing. And now we're here months later. And even if you don't realistically have a chance at getting Kevin Durant, you have a chance to start a conversation that makes logical sense. You tell me if you were Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving wanted out again, and a trade was made this time, like I think will actually happen. Would you at 35 years old, Hall of Fame career, at this point really plan for legacy and championships? Would you still, all the miles that you put in your body, wouldn't it be the perfect time for you to request out too? If I was him, it's what I would do. And I think it also would make sense for the Nets. Because whatever you get back for Kyrie Irving, even if you choose to get back some quality players, which I assume that they will in some respects, it's not going to be to the level of what Kyrie Irving can give you when he's at his best, especially with the inconsistency and the confusion around Ben Simmons night to night. Is what it is. And look, man, it's unfortunate because Kevin Durant was once again playing some of the best basketball of his career. The Nets looked like they were back to being a contender in the East after a slow start. They looked really, really good. Everything was flowing. KD looked like he was right there in the MVP discussion. Everything. I mean, as a Pelicans fan, we got to see it front and center, in which he had some interesting comments about the fans and the Pelicans team, which you guys should hold on to. But yeah, man, a few weeks later, he's hurt. And now, the team isn't playing or hasn't been playing as well, and we're having a different discussion. If he doesn't get hurt, maybe Kyrie softens his stance. Maybe he says, you know what? I want to get this deal done. I'm not going to accept this offer, but I'm not going to, we'll let that happen in the offseason. I want to focus on winning a championship. Who knows? Similar to with BI. If BI doesn't get hurt, is the team in this situation? If he doesn't miss as much time, 2 months, are you in this spot with, on a 10-game losing streak? Probably not. Who knows? But regardless, both guys were talked about in possible trade discussions in the offseason together. And now both guys are hurt and changed the trajectory of said season or help change it. It's just funny. It's funny how that works. And that's outside of the comparisons that they have with BI and KD and so on and so forth. But the Pelicans got to make the call regardless. None of that matters. You have to at least call. You have to at least call David Griffin, Trajan Langdon, who used to work inside of that Brooklyn Nets front office next to Sean Marks. You got to make the call. Put together your best offer. And here's this. And I want you guys to comment on this. Who realistically has the best offer? Who has a better offer than the Pelicans? Who has the different, type of offers that the Pelicans have? The flexibility there to say, all right, if we can't give you what you want in this direction, maybe it's not the player you want. We got picks. And we got young, if it's not the all-star talent, maybe it's the young players. If it's not that, it's the draft picks. Pelicans have it all. And I think that they can beat anybody's best offer. And that's the key. Because you would offer it, whatever that is. And I'm also curious to know in the comments what you guys would offer. What do you guys think the best offer is? But at worst, you have to try it out. And it could totally backfire. It could backfire on so many different levels. But you got to do it. You got to do it. You don't get an opportunity if you're a franchise like New Orleans to ever get a Kevin Durant or even talk about a Kevin Durant. You can do it now, and you can be the one to start the conversation. And this will be your second time having this discussion, not the first. Yo, hey, man, these things don't happen often. You have to at least assume that if not now, when? Make the call. Make the call. And, if that turns into other players on the Brooklyn Nets, let's say you don't get KD, if the conversation turns into Joe Harris or Seth Curry or, whoever you like, Nick Claxton, whatever the conversation is after a Kyrie Irving trade is made, then so be it. But if you were a Brandon Ingram trade away from getting that guy, and you've seen the way that Zion Williamson has had you guys first in the Western Conference, the player that he's came back at after missing so much time, and some of the performances from CJ McCollum, and whatever is going to be left, you got to do it. Because then here's the next question. Any of the teams that make a trade that could be competition for New Orleans in a Kevin Durant trade, how many of them can afford to trade for Kevin Durant and still put him in a better situation that he may be looking at in Brooklyn post Kyrie Irving? If you're Miami, let's say Miami enters again like they were in the offseason, and they give you Bam, in Hero or whatever it is, because it probably would have to be Bam or someone like that. Is that enough? Is that worth it? Is that better than CJ McCollum and Zion Williamson? Nope. I don't think so. It's Phoenix. It's a Phoenix deal. Is Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson and company, is that enough? Does that beat New Orleans? Nope. I don't think so. I think that you have the former relationship with Willie Green being an assistant coach with KD when he was back in Golden State. You have some type of connection there. CJ McCollum and Kevin Durant, all 6-man jokes aside, on the championship level team, they have a relationship. I've heard them both talk glowingly about each other over time. And you listen, I mean, everybody's watched and seen what Zion Williamson has been able to do when healthy. You got to make the call. You have to. Because look, wherever Kyrie Irving is going, it's only going to hurt you. He's going to a competitor of yours. He's going to a contending competitor. Whether it's Dallas, everybody's money is on the Lakers. He's going one of those places. What's a better rebuttal? What's a better rebuttal if you're the Pelicans than trading for Kevin Durant, one of the greatest to ever play? Figure out the rest later, but you got to at least start the conversation. I just don't see a better option for anyone involved. I think the Pelicans can make the Nets happy. The Nets can make the Pelicans happy. And they can also make Kevin Durant happy. Word from my sponsors here at DraftKings Sportsbook. Are you ready for the biggest Sunday in sports? DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 57, has all the Super Bowl action you need. New customers can get just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. You can also get excitement, Super Bowl 57 excitement with DraftKings Happy Hour Super Boosts. You basically, you kind of multiply your odds on certain props. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that kind of thing. But, you got to check it out and see what I'm talking about. Check out the DraftKings Sportsbook app every day between 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern to see what prop will be boosted. So do me a favor, download DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code BOOT. If you're watching live, you see it right at the bottom, BOOT. If you're listening live, you know how to spell boot. You're a smart person. Very intelligent, I'm assuming. New customers can bet $5 on Super Bowl 57 and get $200 in free bets instantly again, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Also, gotta advise, if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-8-HOPE-NY. Or if you or someone you know has a problem beyond that, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER. So yeah, man, listen, I think it is what it is. I do think that this team will ultimately be fine between the strength of schedule and welcoming back Zion. I think that they will find a way to win games, but you got a chance. If you have a chance to get the ultimate upgrade, you have to at least pursue it and try it before he says a word. It just is what it is. I was big on seeing what this team can do, but listen, the game is the game. I think everybody understands that. You don't get this opportunity. You may not ever have it again. This time, go ahead and force the issue and see where it lands you. For better or for worse, unfortunately. Also, a quick word from my people at Birdsall Law Firm, the official injury lawyers of Buku Media, located at 918 Porter Street, right by the Superdome. Give them a call at 504-523-5413 if you or someone you know has been involved in an accident, and be sure to mention we sent you. That's all I got, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Please like, share, subscribe, keep rocking with me. Tell me what type of trade you would put together, whether it involves Kevin Durant or not. Would you trade for Kyrie Irving? Is there someone else on the Nets you would like? And what would the deal look like? But as always, I'll get us out of here. Najee.
In the building. I told you last time, get with us or get out of here, man.